morning. So, it has been brought to my attention that my boss has been watching my YouTube channel. When I first heard that, I was kind of mortified. He ended up saying that he was actually really impressed with what I was doing. And I think I told him that, well, I'm not the only one who's doing this. There's kind of a resurgence of people using old tools, doing things the old way, chopping wood and stuff. So I had also brought in a couple of some of the old axes that I have restored into work and showed him, and showed some others as well. He saw them and ended up wanting one, and to, I think, quote, hang up on his wall, I believe is what he said. And I kind of reminded him, I do sell some axes every once in a while, but as a strict rule, at least for the ones that I keep or that I put time into restoring for myself or for somebody else, that I have a strict no wall hanger rule. The axe has hours being put into it, being tuned to perform and chop well. To hang it up on a wall to look pretty is kind of an insult to not only the tool but also to my time that I spent working on it. As time went on, my boss has shown interest in wanting to chop down some trees. So I brought in one that I had restored for a while back, and it's a nice axe. It's an old Shapleigh Hardware, maybe about 90 years old, I'm not sure. 4.5 pounder, kind of some strange like Rockaway, maybe Jersey hybrid pattern, but it's a heavy axe. It's a 4.5 pounder, and some years ago I hung it on a 36-inch handle, and since then I've just kind of, long handles have fallen out of favor for me. I don't really have a lot of use for them. Maybe for felling, but other than that, I don't have use for them. They're very awkward, and I just can't really buck well with them. So I said, well, you can have this one, but let me put a better grind on it, because it had a very wide grind that I had ended up fixing at one time, and I considered selling it, and it didn't sell, to my surprise. But I went ahead and corrected the grind to where, as if I were to use it with the knowledge that I've learned over the past few years about working with axe grinds. I guess there's a little history too. Shapleigh Hardware was kind of like the Sears of the Midwest during the late 19th century, and their brand of cutting and striking tools was called Diamond Edge. That's what this axe is. It's a 4.5 pound Shapleigh Hardware Diamond Edge axe. And let's go take a look at it. Okay, there it is. So it's actually, the handle is actually more like 35 inches. But it's a brute. It definitely is. This thing was, I had put gunmetal on this after cleaning it all up some years back. And to grind it, I'd had to basically use the eye as kind of a guiding point for the grind here. This is a fairly conservative grind. It's 20 degrees. And went ahead, took the stones to it, polished it up on the buffing wheel, and then if you can see here, I did put, focus, a micro bevel along the edge there to give it some stoutness. It's not the craziest steep angle, but I've kind of been getting the habit of putting a micro bevel on there since a couple of other users had started doing that with good success. It does seem to make the edge of the bit a bit more forgiving, and it doesn't really take that long, and they're easy to work with too. So yeah, let's go ahead and just do some swings. I could probably start the Axe Corbin Challenge today, and we'll have this one here be the ribbon cutting, if I may. And last night I did get the old McCulloch carburetor rebuilt, and it's running good. It's running really good. I got a little excited last night, and I was running it inside here. I eventually did open up the doors to let the fumes out. But what was going on here, I couldn't quite, I was a little concerned, thought maybe something might have been wrong with the oiler, so I kept, it's not an automatic oil, you have to manually pump it. And I was pumping it, and, some old oil, I guess that just kind of congealed in there. That's what all this stuff is. The oil that I'm using, the bar oil I'm using now is clear. And I was just making sure to see if that came out. So to my neighbors at around 10 o'clock last night, if you heard chainsaw noises from inside my garage, I'm sorry. You know who I am.
Okay, what we have here is it's basically a totem pole. It was an ash tree, and it was live too. A few months back, I got a notification in the mail, the snail mail, about a tree company. It was the power company would contract out to tree companies to come and remove trees that could potentially be threats to fallen power lines. And I said, sure, why not? I mean, less work for me. And well, they ended up coming and they ended up topping a couple of live ash trees and a cherry that really weren't anywhere near any power lines, and the ones that I thought that it might be taking down are still there. So that really pissed me off, and I will not be doing that again. So when that notification comes in the mail, it's going to be going right into the garbage. So that being said, there isn't much that this can do now. They make coppice, but it's basically a death sentence at this point, especially for the ash with the beetle anyways. So this is about 6 to 8 inches in diameter. So just as to kind of start off the X-Corbett challenge, I'm going to use this 4.5 pound Shapleigh Hardware as a test cut for this. That's pretty good. I'm not swinging too hard, but it's biting pretty deep. This is why I don't like long handles. I'm not used to it. I feel like I have to reach out too far. Bad. Let's have a look-see. I really can't get a lot. I just feel like I can't be precise with a long handle. With a shorter handle, I feel like I can be more precise with my swings, get a little more up close and personal. So that's pretty good for a face notch. I am at a slight angle because I'm on a hill. And the way this thing's leading, I think that it will kind of help direct the fall a little bit better. Don't like long handles. I don't feel precise. That's so sloppy. Whatever. Pretty good at clearing chips. look at that tree. But shop's good. So Jason, sir, I hope you enjoy it. Minor adjustment. The only thing I don't like with this old saw is the fact that you have to take the air cover off and the filter to access the carburetor jets, which just, you know, well, whatever. It still runs, so probably less of an issue than I think. Let's go ahead and test it on that tree that we just felled with the axe. See, all I needed was a little carb cleaning, rebuild, just like new. And I said before that I was going to use the McCulloch, the 1010, to cut this up. Then I thought, wait a minute, if this is for the X-Cord challenge, then I need to buck that with an axe. Now, I have to go back and check the rules. I'm pretty sure that this is fair game, even though it was topped with a saw. I didn't do it myself. So, it's being the size of it and in the area, nice clean lay, it's a good candidate for processing with an axe. Obviously, I did cut that with a saw, so that I'll just throw up in my my regular wood pile. But the rest of this, I will buck with an axe. Don't stop.